Alright guys, I know we talked about this in the very beginning of the Losi project, but I gotta tell you that after I started digging into it, I decided that I needed to do some more. Alright, so we have the diff cup, which is going in the front differential at least, right? Alright, so this is all aluminum. I don't think using Loctite on these holes right here, well, they may or may not work. Depends on if the oil I use in the front differential, if it gets in the way. However, I am absolutely hoping that after I put this cup in, that these screws will stay and will not back off, not like the original. Alright, so and then we have this upgrade, which would be the rear differential drive line, and I've already upgraded the front, and the hot racing drive lines are really holding up really well. So you know, I don't know if they'd hold up to everything, but and I have not broken the old one. I was debating whether I should wait until I break the old one, which is inevitable. But anyway, I have this drive shaft right here for the rear, and I believe we're going to end up still putting it in. The front bumper. T-Bone Racing front bumper. I saw several pictures online, and it looked like it was like totally awesome. And the whole, what I'm looking at is we got this massive skid plate right here, and then the bumper itself, which should be a lot of fun to go ahead and install. So we all know about the battery box, right? The battery box I modified to make a bigger battery fit that shouldn't be in there. So I'm going to switch that back to the original. Okay, so let's talk about the new stuff, right? New stuff is rear trailing arms are carbon fiber, and they're also from Hot Racing. Hot Racing seems to make quite a few parts for the Losi Rock Rey and or Baja Rey or Super Baja Rey or Super Rock Rey. They make quite a few parts for that. This is like extremely light, and carbon fiber is supposed to be extremely strong. So we'll see how that works. But first, what we need to do is we need to get the front end together, right? Alright, so, and then the last part, this is also carbon fiber, is the rear shock tower. I call it the rear shock tower because basically it mounts to the body, and the shocks mount to this, right? This I'm kind of excited about. Actually, I'm extremely excited about both of these because they are extremely light. I mean, they pretty much don't weigh anything, right? Even though there's aluminum brackets and all that on the shock, we call them towers. Yeah, shock towers, or shock mounts, upper shock mounts. Yeah, maybe that's it. Even though these are carbon fiber and they're the upper shock mounts, they weigh pretty much nothing, which is great because the truck is already heavy enough when given putting the battery in and the monstrous motor I have in there. So, this is going to be pretty exciting. The only thing I'm waiting on right now is the front the front shock tower, I call it tower because, well, that's what we used to call it. Alright, so here's the old one. The new one is going to be all aluminum, and it's going to be one piece. So this piece, and this piece, which are now separate, will be one piece. So as soon as that comes from the slow boat in China, we're going to go ahead and put that on. In the meantime, you can look forward to seeing the front differential all put together, all except for that front shock tower on the Rock Rey. Okay. All I can tell you is that you know, I'm pretty excited about these things. You know, from the very beginning, when I upgraded my first truck, the E-Max, right? So I thought like aluminum was everything. If it's aluminum, it's not going to break, blah, 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 blah. And I found out that, you know, aluminum just made it heavier, and aluminum made other things break. So I'm trying to be a little bit smarter on this one. Still keep it light. And strong. So you know, it's just one of those things that we do. Aluminum is not always the answer.